And good Monday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin another Monday with 45 right now as we wait for a high of 81 degrees today. It's going to be warm to say the least there as we begin today. Hope you had a great weekend. It was beautiful, wasn't it? Hope you had a lot to do. We'll discuss a few of the things that happened over this weekend. Hope you got a chance to get out. We even cranked up the lawnmower. Got things rolling again. That was starting to get out of hand. And the pollen is back. For those of you who get allergies every year, this is not your time. It is thick. It seemed like in the last 2 days it's gotten a lot thicker and thicker. You most likely know what I'm talking about. A lot of sneezing. I bumped into a few people already that don't feel their best due to that. So, wow. In Louisville, Tacoy says it's 45 degrees. Good morning from Winston County. How are you doing? Glad to see you there. Thanks for joining us. Rachel Garrison joins us from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Melina Dotson is up. Miss LaWanda Grantham, Flora Overstreet. Gloria Ming, how are you? Little Rock checking in with us there. Jimmy Slay is up. Let's see here. Pat, Jim Coker, Hickory. Glad to see you there. Chuck Millsaps. I always think of Ronnie every time I see your name. Robin Sullivan. They just don't get any nicer than him. He's a great guy. Good morning to Janie Birdtail, also Laura Lee. How are you? Mike Douglas, Tommy Ainsworth, Robin Sullivan, Joy Robinson. A bunch of folks up today. Donna Roseman, I'm glad to see you there as well. Well, we will get to it in just a moment, and I had the bright idea that we would show the clip until I actually listened to the wording of it, and I can't do that. We'll discuss the Will Smith episode on television last night. Bet they weren't expecting that. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. It's pretty strong if you don't have a clue as to what I'm talking about. We'll discuss it in just a second. All right, as I said today, 45. Let's also keep in mind, we're going to go into full-scale weather here in a moment, but we do have extremely bad weather once again forecasted for our area. We're, again, looking Wednesday afternoon, roughly 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., a chance of severe weather. And this does include, again, outbreak of tornadic activity with very strong winds. So if you do not have a weather plan, if you do not own a weather radio alert from NOAA, get one of these this week. They're inexpensive. If it annoys you after the sunshine comes up, unplug it. And when you know there's a threat of bad weather, plug it in. I keep mine in all the time. It wakes, what's that old saying is, it'll wake the dead? It's loud. And that's what you need. Never, ever, ever rely just on these outside sirens. A couple of reasons. Sometimes if you've got a large group, 2 or 3 people talking, you can't hear it. It doesn't always apply for your part of the county. When one goes off, when an alarm is issued, it goes off for the entire county. And those, and as good as you follow me, we'll tell you what side of the county. And then also, just take a moment this week and look at where you live on a map. So that you'll kind of know when bad weather breaks out as to, is this near me or not? And there's nothing wrong with it. There's just a few folks that always go, well, where's that town in relation to where I live? Follow us. We'll show you exactly where you live in relation to when a storm comes in and how close that is to where you live. We always have landmarks to show you. So that's up and coming. As we start talking a little bit about news this morning, if you watched any of my page and scanned through this weekend, we had we'll call it a car break-in, a robbery this weekend at Bonita Lakes. How many folks go to Bonita Lakes? You go there to walk, you go there to take the kids or whatnot, but a lady went to walk the trails, and when she came back, she found her car had been broken into. They took a purse that she had hidden in the car. They went from there right on over to Best Buy and tried to use it. Right at $1,700 purchase they attempted. Credit card company stopped it. Now, had that been a debit card, I'm not sure that would have been stopped, but it was a credit card. They were investigating this, and hopefully they will catch them. Took several other items that were in her car. That's just not good. But that happened this weekend as she was out. Crime is very active in our area. Don't forget that. Now, one of the good things that happened this weekend is our community is well known for if somebody needs help, they come together. And as we saw this weekend, the Martin Volunteer Fire Department had Martin Day. Huge turnout for that. I'm so glad that y'all went and attended this. We also, on Saturday night, had the auction. And here's just a few pictures of Lauren Pogue from our community. This is the items that were donated for auction. All went to a good cause to help the expenses of the family. If you weren't there, you got to see a few of the pictures there, and that's what was going on there. So hopefully you participated in it. If not, there's other ways to help out. There's also a GoFundMe page set up, and they're also still selling tickets at Al's Garden and Gift, the Rock House Trading Post, of some gift certificates. I think it's $600 worth. They're giving away $5 or $10 for the tickets. It goes to a great cause of helping the family in this very, very expensive time in their lives. So if you'd like to help out, you inbox me. We'll tell you more about it if you need to, or just drop into one of those businesses, the Back Porch, Rock House, any of these places, and they'll help you there. Other things that went on over the weekend. Early this morning, it happened, 6:36 now? This was about an hour and a half ago. Gunshots were reported in the city of Meridian. They were. This was around 22nd Street and 22nd Avenue. This was, let me go over here and I'll show you where that is on a map, in case you're not familiar with it. A lot of times these street names, you go, well, I don't really know where that is. I'm with you on that. You'd have to really be a part of this. As we pull this up this morning again, this was right at 5, a little after 5. This will be due north of Anderson's Hospital, 22nd Street back in here. This would be off of Highway 493 to the east there. If you do it as the crow flies from 24th Avenue, where Hope Village is, back toward Highway 39, in between there, in between the two highways. No one hurt, no damage reported that I'm aware of. But daylight is breaking. Sometimes that changes after daylight gets here. But gunshots were reported in that area. Always important for you to know these things. Let's see here. Other shots that were reported overnight. The 300 block of St. Paul Street. Shots were fired there as well. We have no reports of injury or damage in that area either, but gunshots. They seem to love to do that, don't they? Another thing that happened over the weekend, Saturday night. Now, the official statement that I got from MPD was that a sprinkler broke. That's the way it was worded. The jail cell area and down the hallway took lots of water. Fire department had to show up and fix that. They got the water turned off at the jail or at the Meridian Police Department over the weekend. We find out more on that. We'll pass that along to you, but that is the official statement from the Meridian Police Department this morning. We also had some fires over the weekend. A shed on Valley Road caught fire. This was, Meehan had to come on out and help with this. I think Lost Gap did as well. A shed in between two mobile homes caught fire. I think the shed burned to the ground. Everything else was saved. That's the good news. We also had a car fire on Highway 1180 temporarily shut down the road. It caught fire, and this does happen a lot. Believe it or not, electrical fire can happen in a car. Something just go wrong. And blocked Highway 1180. This was near Shirley Circle where it caught fire. Also, we had an abandoned home on the 3700 block of Paulding Street catch fire. It was fully engulfed when the Meridian Police Department got there also. But the fire department, and I think an adjacent home also got caught fire. It was able to be contained. That's a few of the things that happened there. Now, we've got more on the way. Don't rush off. I'll tell you more about what's happening around the state. There's a few things that happened inside the city limits of Meridian and surrounding areas over the last few hours. Stay close. We'll be right back with more.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Cuties or Halos, a 3-pound bag, $6.99. Fresh cantaloupes, $2.99 each. Dixie Crystal Sugar, a 4-pound bag, $2.89. Brine Wieners, a 12-ounce package, $1.69. Family Pack Boneless Pork Chops, $2.49. And Certified Angus Beef Ribeye Steaks Family Pack, $12.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Mark your calendars for the Spring Extravaganza Show coming Saturday, April 23rd, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a brand new location at the old Office Max building at Bonita Lakes Circle. From boutique clothes, shoes and accessories, children's clothing, spring plants, jewelry, gift items. Come shop and have lunch with Jack's Sausage Dogs. The Spring Extravaganza Gift Show, Saturday, April the 23rd from 9 until 4 at the old Office Max building in Meridian. Call Becky at 601-480-1776.
James Sullivan joins us from the big city of Forest, Mississippi. Good morning. Terry Ray joins us there from Philadelphia, from Preston. Nothing better. How are you doing? Laura Lee is there. Also Terry Carter, along with Miss Karina Jones. Melanie McQuaig. How are you? that man last name. I always forget to say that, don't I? Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you chose to watch us this morning. We've got a lot planned today, 8 o'clock. Don't forget, as we come back, we'll be getting into the morning show as Candace will join us, and we'll tell you all the goings-on around our area and into the United States. As we look at things, and sometimes it takes a little bit as investigations stretch out, Carthage, Mississippi, they're now on the lookout. I didn't know about this until now, but the Dollar Tree, this happened January 2nd. They'd gone to the bank to make a deposit. As they were making their deposit for the day, someone walked up with a gun, took their money. Some bad folks, but it takes this long, I guess, in investigations. I've always believed in if you release pictures immediately, maybe within the same day, within maybe a few minutes of a robbery or something, you put it out to the public, you're more likely to catch the bad guys. Let's hope that eventually we can get our police system where they can do that to where local people see more. Also, let's see, I don't understand this, but we'll congratulate him nonetheless. I'm sure it's a high honor. The mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, is going to receive the John F. Kennedy New Frontier Award. He actually received it on Saturday. And the way they describe this, the Harvard Kennedy School presents the award to those under the age of 40 who are changing their communities and country with their commitment to public service. Anybody remember I just said that was Jackson, Mississippi? The highest crime rate, more murders, on track to beat last year. Yeah, I guess that is changing the community. It's a mess in Jackson, Mississippi. But he got an award. That's just my 2 cents. Y'all may disagree with me. Let's see. Canton, Mississippi over the weekend. Have y'all heard about this? This happened late Friday. Kids were playing and discovered a body in a ditch. It was decomposed. Police could not identify it. An investigation is well underway in Canton, Mississippi, trying to figure out what happened, who it was. It is a man. We do know that. Scary, kids stumbling up on something like that. And it's something that you probably would never forget. We also learned that there was a death on Highway 49 in a rollover crash there in Yazoo County. A young lady lost control of her vehicle and lost her life. I'm not sure if we brought this up on Friday, but I'll bring it back up again as we look at those who lost their lives in accidents around Mississippi. A 66-year-old man was killed in Amen County in a single vehicle accident. Lost control of his vehicle, and it flipped and turned over into a body of water. By the time they got to him, he had lost his life. We pass condolences along to his family as well. The crash is still under investigation. They have not released the name as of yet. This is big news for us as we see that a former president is headed to the state of Mississippi. Now, don't get all excited. Wait till you find out who it is. Well, it's Bill Clinton. He's coming to Mississippi. He's coming May the 3rd to Jackson to a ceremony to where they're going to honor former Governor William Winter and First Lady Elise Winter. So he'll be in town for that. And again, that's May 3rd, so y'all expect a lot of Secret Service and everything floating around the Jackson metropolitan area. That's May 3rd as he will come speak. William Winter, I met him a few times. As we go back, Mississippi lawmakers, and they're bragging, without a doubt. And in some degree, it almost makes you feel good until you think about the repercussions of what has happened. I'm not against anybody getting their taxes cut. Please don't misunderstand what I say. Mississippi lawmakers over the weekend did pass the largest tax cut in Mississippi history. That is wonderful. State income tax, all this is going to be changing. But with that also being said, you can bet your boots that as though on the state level those taxes are cut, on a local level they're coming to visit you to hike something else up. Can you afford more taxes? It's give and take. It's what you might call smoke and mirrors. Anybody agree with that? We've already got it in Lauderdale County. I don't know about other areas, but Lauderdale County, as a new courthouse is being developed, your land taxes, you didn't notice it this year. It's been passed. But come next January, you will not be a happy camper. Higher taxes are coming to you. So if these tax cuts cause more, you'll be very upset. We're going to get one of our supervisors in the next little bit, in the next few weeks, try to get them to talk about that, just how much all this will affect you. We need somebody to give us that, so you'll be braced for what's coming. I think we all know that we needed a courthouse, but wow, was there another way to get it? We don't know. Let's see here. Police say a man broke into a bank. Boy, this is not good. This happened in the Jackson Saturday. Guy broke into a bank, busted out a window. He was inside. As police arrived to arrest him, he said, "I was hungry and I needed some cigarettes." They're betting that he has some mental issues. He's been taken into custody. We'll see what charges happened to him. That's a pretty serious charge at a break into a bank there. But he said he was hungry. As we look at this is changing the way things go. It's always been a protected thing, and you get in deep trouble. But possibly they say that they're going to open up an alligator season in the state of Mississippi. You've noticed an abundance of these. You go fishing, and they're dangerous. They're very dangerous animals. An abundance of females. So they're looking at possibly opening this up to cut back on the numbers to hunters. We'll see. LaWanda said Jonathan Wells is the person to talk to there. We'll see if we can get him there. Talk about this. Over the weekend, we also learned he was a former country music singer. He had several hits, a string of those. He had one number one, Not on Your Life, a guy named Jeff Carson. He had faded to the side, and he kind of quit singing on a national level and became a police officer in Nashville area in Tennessee. He died over the weekend at 58 years old of a heart attack. Jeff Carson. And if you don't remember Jeff, here's a picture of Jeff. That's one of the stories there that I'm looking up from Fox 17 in Nashville. We pass along condolences to his family. 58, not all that old at all. But if y'all remember that, he did have other hits, but that was the one that shot to the top of the charts that stayed at number one way back when. That did happen. And last night, I don't watch it. Maybe a few of you did. And I think most of us have kind of just turned our, I don't know, there's a blind eye to what Hollywood has to say anymore. But I guarantee you this, of what happened last night on national television. And as I said before we went live, I listened to this. And there's absolutely no way with the footage that I've got that I could air this because of the wording. Yeah, it's cuss words. One cuss word after another. And we just don't do that here. But Will Smith, Chris Rock was the host of the award show that had the Oscars last night. Again, I didn't watch it live. I could care less what Hollywood has to say anymore. And this is a headline across America. Chris Rock made a joke about Will Smith's wife looking like G.I. Jane. He promptly gets up out of his seat, walks on stage, and forevermore slaps the tar out of him. Just slapped him. It hurt. It had to have. Chris Rock held his composure, kept right on rolling. But I guarantee you this. Now, the left this morning, as you look at this, are wishing that Will Smith's award be taken away from him for bad conduct. But whatever happens moving forward, no one will ever say a joke about Will Smith's wife with him in the room. You know why? I relate it to this way. It was instant. What's the proper way to put this? It was instant. If you do wrong, you're corrected. Like if you break the law, you go to jail. So many times now we see that no one gets in trouble for their actions. They can say or do anything that they want. But you won't do that to Will Smith anymore, now will you? They will not. He's put a stop to it. As Barney would say, it's been nipped in the bud. No longer will they poke fun at his wife because he does take actions. He could have cared less what he said. It made him mad. And he voiced that opinion from the front row with several ugly words. But Chris Rock kept right on rolling. I don't know that I could have done that. As Bree and also Laura said there, instant karma. LaWanda also said it there. And it was a nasty mouth, Laura. I agree with that. That's what happened. But he forevermore put one on him. It's a wonder it wasn't a fist, but it was a slap. I guess there's a difference in public in between a slap and a fist. It would have been a brawl. That way it was a very mannerism slap. But, as I said, he will no longer do that to him ever again. And I don't think his Oscar should be taken back. Do you? I don't either. I think he deserved what he said. You people in Hollywood just say these nasty things about people and spout their opinions, and, well, they never pay for those. That's my 2 cents on that. Don't rush off. We're going to be right back and tell you all about this bad weather that is coming our way. We want you to have a weather plan and be prepared for what is coming. Although today is going to be beautiful, it will not be the case as we roll into Wednesday. That's all up and coming. We're going to come back with that next here.
The Back Porch of Meridian, located on Highway 19 North, invites you by to take a look at their custom-made woodworking, from wooden tables, chairs, swings, and day beds. Take a step inside and visit the local meat section, where you'll find ground beef, pork chops, and even local milk from Beeson Farms. And if you need a utility trailer, they offer single, tandem, car haulers, enclosed trailers. You name it, they have it. Ask about financing. It's all at the back porch of Meridian 5570 Highway 19 North.
Patrick Allen Companies services and repairs all brands of overhead doors, residential and commercial. Our service technicians are factory trained and have over 125 years of combined experiences. At Patrick Allen Companies, we are not interested in being the biggest, just the best. At Patrick Allen Companies, our philosophy is simple. We want to give you more than you expect. We are just 4 miles south of Meridian on Highway 145. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
A lot of comments coming in there about what Will Smith did and accountability, Les Alexander said. And I believe that. Milton says it was possibly staged. Bree Packer said it was nice to see that there are still men left in Hollywood. Lisa Brookins, and I knew something. I didn't know what all it was, but she says that Will Smith's wife, Jada, suffers from an autoimmune disorder. Any man that will defend his family, no matter what. And a lot of people do look at it that way. There's so many that don't, that cowered down. People do what they want. Not the case with Will Smith at this point. We'll talk more about that this morning on the morning show. I hope you'll join us. It all begins at 8 a.m. As we roll into this. Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, we want you to pay extra caution as we come into Wednesday. We have bad weather forecasted. We are at a level 3, and we'll show the graphics of this in just a moment. As we turn to the weather to find out exactly what's going to happen. Our timeline at this point is 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. I would, as I've read and studied this storm, somewhere around 7 to 7:30, I think it will be making its way out of our area. But again, another afternoon weather event. And for the most general part, I think people would rather this happen during daylight than at nighttime. If we're going to have bad weather, at least you can crack a window and look outside and know what's coming, opposed to what happens in the middle of the night and you have no idea. We will be here all throughout the day. We will be live 24/7. We will also go live on Twin States News should the weather turn into a warning, a major one. We'll keep it here as well as on television to let as many people that we can know about what's happening. All right, let's get into the weather, and then we'll talk about what's coming up as we go back on this.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Today's record highs and record lows, it was 2020. Not all that long ago, a high of 89 degrees, a warm day for us in 2020. I think we were in quarantine on that day, weren't we? We couldn't look at one another. I think that's what they told us. Back in 1894, record low of 25 degrees on this date. As we look at the forecast for today, you really can't complain about this whatsoever. Sunshine at 81 in Meridian. As we go a little bit north, it'll keep that in Kemper County there through DeKalb, all the way through Scuba and Porterville. As we go west of there to Philadelphia, 80. We'll get about 79 there as we make it to Louisville. Columbus, a tad cooler. And Winston County, just a wee bit cooler than it is here. It'll be beautiful weather, though. To the south, 80 in Laurel. Hattiesburg, 81. As we go west, as I invented a new word, vest, 79 in Vicksburg. And south to Natchez, 79 also. Let's go across that Alabama state line, and here's what we've got. 75 Tuscaloosa, Alabama. 70 there in downtown Birmingham. We'll get 79 right there over in Livingston, Alabama as well, and on down toward the coast, it stays in that upper 70-degree mark. All right, as we come down, here's what we're looking for. This is severe weather as we look at how this breaks down. Jackson, Mississippi, if you'll look at this line. Now, this is, again, we're 3 days out on this. Most likely, this will change in between now and then. It's going to either be upgraded or downgraded, and it looks as though it could be an upgrade if anything happens. But from Jackson, Mississippi, all the way to the Bama state line, and even crossing over to western Alabama is going to be 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. for this bad weather. So be prepared for this. Now, probably somewhere around Livingston, we'll look at that with what they're telling us from Alabama, but about 3 p.m. there. But we're in this level 3. This is enhanced. Last week we had a level 4. We're already at a level 3, 3 days out. What this means is severe storms, damaging winds of 70 miles an hour with possible tornadoes. Now, as we found out, tornadoes can strike with little or no warning at all. As we watch those storms come across from Newton County, right across Lauderdale, and then they actually touched down last week in Kemper County, destroying 3 homes in reality of what we got. This can happen again. I'm not here to scare people. That's not the way that I work. I want you just to be fully aware of what the weather is, and when it gets close to your home, we'll tell you. Now, let's go to my radar this morning and take a look as what we show is the big picture here. Let's pull this up where you can see this morning as we show fog all the way down here on the Gulf Coast, New Orleans, Lafayette. That's where we are. Let's go here under severe weather and jump on over to Wednesday. This is what we've got right now. This is the area. This is going to stretch, and this is almost a carbon copy from last time. Last week it picked up at Lake Charles. This week it'll be just a little bit north of Lake Charles. Alexandria, Louisiana. This comes across just north of Baton Rouge, taking in Hattiesburg, moving up. Now this goes all the way over to nearly Montgomery. It doesn't quite get there to make it to Bessemer. Over to Tuscaloosa. All of this area is a level 3. Meridian right in the center of this. And again, if you look at this, it will be moving northeasterly as it comes about. We've got a level 2 from Gulfport to Montgomery, Huntsville, and these areas here, all the way up to Jonesboro, Arkansas, Shreveport. Can this be upgraded? It absolutely can. This can move to a level 4. It hasn't been said yet. We've got 3 days before this gets here. As just to show you how this is going to work, let's go back here to the severe weather and look at day 2. This is tomorrow. This is how it comes to the west. Dallas on Tuesday. These areas here are at a level 2. And as this moves easterly, it will continually get worse till it reaches us. Now, again, as I said, we'll be here. We'll tell you street names. We'll tell you places that you recognize as it's close to your home. We'll bring in extra help with us in here to make sure that we get all this. We want your comments so that others know as these storms come and we cover it live that you know exactly what's going on. I have been on the other side of this to where I didn't know what was happening. I couldn't find the coverage that I wanted. We try our absolute best here to give you the most dependability and knowledge as quickly as we can of what's going on in the community. So join us. We'll be live here on Facebook, YouTube, all of these different channels, and even Twitter. We'll be live on that. And then when the threat becomes even more serious, we'll go live on all the networks there at Twin States to make sure that you know it and are aware of where we are. That's our commitment to you as we follow these storms as it comes along. Let's look at, as we go back to this, this is our area here in Mississippi. Let's look at this also. This is the elevated strong winds that are likely to happen, 25 to 35 miles an hour. Now, that's sustained winds. We'll have gusts of 40 to 50. This could move up. With inside these storms, it'll be up to 70 miles an hour. The wind will start at 10 o'clock that morning and go through about 7. That's what's projected. This could also change. As we move across, here's the Alabama risk here, 5 to 6 a.m. So they're putting this overnight as it exits Mississippi, somewhere around 5 to 7 p.m. and makes its way across here, depending on how fast, how slow it is. But we have a level 3 here all the way to Selma, Clanton, and then a level 1 over at Auburn, Alabama. What do we got temperature-wise for the next 6 to 10 days? A little bit cooler right now. Yeah, you wouldn't recognize that with 81, would you? As we look at the 7-day forecast, and here we are what the National Weather Service tells us for the next 7 days. Again, today, beautiful. 81 degrees is what we're going to get. Sunshine everywhere. Tonight, now we do have that fog on the coast. Otherwise, down to 56 tonight. Not as cold tonight. By tomorrow, sunshine 83, and those gusty winds start moving in at 20 miles an hour tomorrow with gust. By tomorrow night, upgrades to 25 mile an hour gust. And as we get this earlier part of Wednesday, we'll have a 40% chance of showers through the earlier part of the day. Some rain's going to be high of 83, and we'll have that 25 mile an hour winds with gusts of 45 miles an hour. Then the rain chance as the evening hours come in, 80% chance of showers. We could get up to 2 inches of rain with this, low of 54. And again, gusts as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour overnight on Wednesday. But this is going to be an afternoon event right here as we have a high of 83. Now, it's going to cool down the following days. You see that Thursday, 73. That's not bad. None of us can complain about that. Sunshine returns 73 to 71, somewhere right along in there. Still gusty on Thursday. As we move into Friday, mostly sunny, 76. Can't beat that. The weekend looks to be possibly a shower there on Saturday, a 50% chance of rain on Saturday. As we move into Sunday, slight chance of rain, and we do that look on out through April the 11th. Don't forget, Friday is April Fool's. We'll keep highs in the upper 70s for the most part all the way through April 11th. For the most part, the cool snaps are over and spring has arrived as we move to our gardens and do all of that fun stuff. Cut grass again, weed eaters. Don't you love that? Thought so. As we look at our fishing chart for today, brought to you by Chet's Paint and Body, as your first major time will be at 10:30 this morning until about 1 o'clock, somewhere along in there. If you can hit the old fishing hole, it'll be perfect for you today. Light wind variable today, becoming south 5 to 10 this morning. So that's your plans there as we look at the forecast. That's a quick look at our weather this morning. Join us in roughly an hour from now, 59 minutes as I look at the clock. I ran a little over this morning. Candace is getting ready. She'll be here. We'll tell you all about the going on in and around the community and more about weather. That's what's important to us all, our family, and, well, what happens with the weather. We want to protect y'all. We'll be back in just a little bit. Can't say thank you enough for joining us this morning. We'll see you soon as we'll kick into everything here at the Scotty Ray Report.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by our following partners: